Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to episode 7 of Asobi Asobase. Yeah, we're here with another episode and another chance to possibly see the clip that got me interested in this in the first place. But again, as always, as every week, I don't really have anything to say going into this. I don't have any big thoughts. I mean, considering it's very episodic and all, not completely. There is continuity that comes in between episodes, especially when new characters are introduced and all. But overall, it is still very episodic in its nature, and that's fine. It works for this series, but it leaves me with very little to say both before and after. Because it's like, I know most of this stuff isn't going to affect things going forward. Most of these games or pastimes or whatnot that they do aren't going to have a massive ongoing, like focus. They're just there for that episode, really. So it's like, these redirects, I feel like the pre-thoughts and the post-thoughts end up being just so kind of boring, in my opinion. I hope you guys are still okay with them, but I never feel like I'm saying anything, at least nothing new. And I think the last couple have just been like fangirling about Oka-chan. Um, seriously, though. Yeah, I am enjoying this. I can say that. I really am enjoying this. And we're over the halfway point, so it's going to be interesting to get into this last half. I wonder if they will integrate some kind of ongoing narrative in any way, or at least something more so than what we have. Because Nichijou kind of did that. Nichijou's second half brought Shinonome, I think? Nano, into the school with the other main characters. And so her story, which was separate before, just her and Hakase, the professor, now integrated into the other character's story. And there was more of an ongoing plot revolving around her trying to fit in and become friends with the others. Yes, it was still very episodic, but there was actually something there in the second half. So now that we're in the second half of Asobi Asobase, I wonder if it's going to do the same kind of thing. I wonder if we're going to kind of have that small ongoing story, like just something. Even just like a plot point that goes between episodes. Like one specific thing they're trying to do or something they're maybe trying to prepare for. The only real ongoing plot point that we've had has been them trying to get their club made official, but that really isn't talked about most of the time. I think it's only been brought up like twice. And it's unfortunate because they could have easily integrated that in some way in pretty much every episode, while still keeping the very episodic nature. I just feel like that's the one big problem I have with this. And it's not even that big of a problem, all things considered. But it's the only real issue I have with this show right now, is that it's kind of, it's not taking advantage of the possibility with that plot point. And they, again, just mentioning it in pretty much every episode would be fine. They don't have to like have a big plot point or one of their skits, you could say, surrounding it. No. But just having it mentioned, just having it brought up, or even them maybe trying to figure out a way, or like brainstorm a way to get that, to happen. It'll probably be brought up at least once or twice more, for sure. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't know. I am interested to see, though. I am interested to see what they have in store for us either way. So, we're just going to get this started and hope for the best. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. All right, boobs. So Kasumi had to deal in that last one with her boobs being too big, and it's like, yeah, I wish. Oh no, but seriously, it's something that I would definitely wish to personally have. I mean, yes, it probably comes with quite a few struggles, with clothing and all, but honestly, I wish I could have that more than just the breast forms that I wear. But in either way, so this episode actually had a little bit of continuity going throughout a couple of its parts. So the one character came back and asked the Pastimers Club to sneak into the student council room and steal the banana files, which apparently has dirt on all of the students. They end up stealing it successfully after almost getting caught by the president, and read it. And in there they find all this dirt on others in the school, and including themselves. And eventually they decide to just leave and get ice cream. That the person comes back, though, and burns their file. Now, I'm saying there, and I'm avoiding using pronouns because, honestly, I don't know at this point. But this is something that I've said before. I don't obviously like spoilers, but this is something I need to know because it's going to bother the hell out of me if I don't know this. So I'm trying to find the name here. So give me a second here. Because, again, I just need to know this at this point. I have the volume turned off, so I'm just, okay, I'll just go ahead. Oh, there. Azora Samugi. It's, normally, again, I wouldn't look this stuff up, but I have to know that because it's going to bother the hell out of me otherwise. Okay, Sumugi is a feminine-presenting classmate who the Pastimers suspect of actually being male, leading them to go to great lengths to uncover true identity. Sumugi keeps their identity ambiguous and enjoys teasing the club in return. Now, I'm not going to look up like spoilers on what is going to happen in future episodes or anything. I'm just trying to find like basic information. Yeah, all I'm seeing is that it's heavily implied because of the scene in this episode where Sumugi says girls are stupid. But otherwise, all I'm seeing, and again, I'm not looking up info for future episodes, it's just saying that it's kind of ambiguous. It's just left up kind of to the imagination. Now, this was in a past episode, and if you remember, it kind of bugged me back then because they were kind of playing under the assumption that just because of the idea of Sumugi having a dick made Sumugi a boy. And it's like, that's extremely transphobic as a mindset. Because there are a lot of girls in this world who have dicks. And even outside of just being trans, there are a lot of girls who are like cisgendered girls but have dicks due to birth defects and whatnot. They're intersex people as well. And it's like, it's just extremely problematic to have that kind of ideology. And I know it's a very old-fashioned ideology. I know that it's very common in a lot of media, but it always bothers me. but the idea that this character is like made to be ambiguous, is made to like be completely unclear, is interesting to me. However, the part that Tsumugi does say girls are stupid kind of, again, like I said, like it said on when I was looking it up just a second ago, heavily implies that Tsumugi is male. Because the thing is that, or at least non-binary or something like that. Because the thing is, why would Tsumugi say that? They weren't around at the time, so Tsumugi would have no reason to like keep up some kind of charade, to keep up some ambiguity. Being alone at that point, Tsumugi talking to themselves heavily implies either male or non-binary. And I mean, either way, it's not like it's a big deal. It's not like it matters like a huge amount. But it's, again, it's just I feel like the entire having a dick thing, whether or not Tsumugi does, and I just feel like that's it's not something you should judge someone in terms of gender on, because it's not valid, especially after how far we've come in understanding that. But yeah, so either way, that is still probably the only real big problematic part of the series so far. And it's unclear if it's even super problematic, because it's unclear about Tsumugi. If Tsumugi's male, female, trans, non-binary, it's super unclear. So the problematic part is the fact that they assume that if Tsumugi has a dick, that Tsumugi has to be a boy. That's the problematic part. But yeah, as I said before, the third part of this, the other part of this episode was just about Kasumi, her breasts being too big for the shirt she was making for a home ec project, and the others trying to help and failing hardcore in the most ridiculously over-the-top way, because that's how the series goes. We didn't have the teacher in this one. We had one of the teachers, well, actually two of the teachers mentioned, but that's about it. We didn't have any teachers in this one. We didn't have Oka-chan. This one was definitely centered around the students. And it was also a lot less extremely weird in comparison to some of the others. It was still enjoyable, though. But yeah, the entire thing with Tsumugi is just, I'm unsure of what to make of it. I'm just unsure. I have no problem with the character's gender being left ambiguous in a show. That doesn't bother me at all. It's, again, it's just like the entire thing with the dick thing just bothers me. If that part was removed, if the entire part about the dick was removed, I would probably be completely fine. And I'm going to try to move past it. I am. I'm going to try to move past it and just see Tsumugi as an ambiguous gendered character right now, and I'm going to refer to them by they, them pronouns. Because honestly, like I said, it's unclear. The only thing we can guess is that Tsumugi isn't female, simply because of what they said. Girls are stupid. Again, in complete isolation, no reason to keep up appearances or try to convince anyone, or try to mess with anyone, I guess. But there's no reason that Tsumugi would say that if Tsumugi was a girl. So, yeah. That's the only thing we can assume. So again, it could be male, could be non-binary. We don't know. Could be trans even. Because I do, and even a trans female, because I know a lot of other trans girls besides myself who have used that kind of terminology in reference to cis girls and stuff. especially when recently having come out, when they're not used to calling themselves a girl yet. Honestly, I've done that at times. So yeah, this episode, like I said, was very low-key compared to some of the others, but still funny, still had some good ridiculous stuff in it. Still referenced Case Closed, Detective Conan again, with the one teacher who apparently was, like, hospitalized, I think it was. Hospitalized, or at least had to take time off because of licking some kind of chemical, trying to be a detective. Because, what the fuck? But yeah. This episode was just kind of okay. Wasn't bad, but wasn't, like, amazing or anything compared to other episodes. And obviously, you see that the thumbnail has to be Kazumi's boobs, because boobs. No, it's just, honestly, I couldn't really think of much to use as a thumbnail for this one. And I just thought, like, that would get people's attention. Plus, it is relevant to the episode and everything. It is relevant to the last part of the episode, but honestly, I didn't want to use anything involving Samugi, and nothing else really stood out for a good thumbnail. So it's just like, I'm just gonna use the boobs. I'm gonna use shameless clickbait. But yeah, either way, tell me what you thought of this episode in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,